What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful Friday Eve. And I'm actually trying something here. So, trying to go live on Instagram at the same time and get to see how this all works out. So, for those of you who are new to the show, I just want to say welcome. And so, if you look at me in the vertical aspect, I'm actually just trying out the stream, just kind of try out a few things because you know how it goes. Trying out technologies. I like to try things out for myself before we try it out in front of other folks. So, with that being said, what we're going to be talking about today is how to communicate with your team as a leader. And before we dive into that, I want you to know that I do have some drinks set to the side. We'll be doing a mocktail, which is like a mock mimosa. So it's non-alcoholic, but you still get to enjoy the same flavors and bubbles as they usually do. But before we keep diving into that, I just wanted to say thank you for all of you. If you haven't already, go ahead on and subscribe to my newsletter, which is aboutthatwallet.com/newsletter, so that you can actually get signed in. And with that being said, oh man, we got a lot to go through today. If you are watching this on Instagram, you can either come on over to YouTube, just type in #wallet so that you can actually get inside this drawing that I'm gonna do later on today. I'm gonna say, since I'm doing two giveaways, with #wallet, I'm gonna do one drawing at 8:30, and then I'm gonna do another drawing at 8:50, so that we can make sure we get both books inside there. So the books that I'm giving away today, for those of you who are watching live and supporting the show, the first one is by Bernadette Joy, which is Crush Your Money Goals, the 25 money habits to save, invest, and fast track your financial freedom. This is one of the books that I've been waiting for, mostly because she's pretty much been my FinCon idol. And I have to say, I greatly appreciate her putting her effort into this as a self-published book. The other one is, I'm sad to say I don't have it in front of me, but it is another book that I met from somebody this year called Brandon Berkmeyer. You actually have to check it out. It's about leadership. And this is one of the reasons why I want to bring this up today. And so that you can actually have such an impact on your, brand. Like, he's all about brands on brands. And, why not have a conversation about leadership and give away a book that, a local self-publisher, local far as the East Coast, self-publisher, to go ahead on and provide, access and give away the free book. Because, who am I to just kind of not give away the free book? Y'all know me. So his book is called The Front and Center Leadership: How Leaders Use Personal Branding to Stand Out, and How You Can Too. So let me go ahead on and play our intro so that we can go ahead on and get paid. Well, I'll get paid by affiliate link, so y'all know how it goes. All right, be right back. Hold on. You're listening to the About That Wallet podcast. We'll be right back after these messages. What? That was my short one. Oh my gosh, did I delete my other stuff? I think I did. It doesn't work. All right, let's see. Try this. You're listening to the About That Wallet podcast. We'll be right back after these messages. Low credit score dragging you down? Score Boost by Smart Credit helps you maximize your score by showing you exactly how much you need to pay off and by which date to gain the most points. Pay less and gain the most points the fastest. And you can start just for $1. Click the link in the bio. Save thousands. Don't wait.
Even the best and the brightest this world has to offer have coaches and mentors. Build strong money-making behaviors by applying financial concepts and strategies with Anthony Weaver on the About That Wallet Show. It's time to get off the bench and get in the game. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
All right. So, for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. We're just going to dive right into it. So you're just going to kind of take a look at me for a little bit. And one of the things that we're going to start off with is pretty much you as a leader, how to create a awesome communication skill set when you have a team of 10. We're going to do it with teams of 10, mostly because as a leader, you shouldn't really have more than 20 under you. But in case you do, hey, it's all right. We want to start off with 10. So the first thing that you want to do is really get used to knowing your team. Like, you really need to sit down. Let me just do this. As far as knowing your team, but also understanding your team. And what I mean by understanding your team is that you really need to learn their communication style. Are they visual people? Do they need to be shown something when they introduce to something? Do you need to physically show them, hey, this is how you do this? Are they auditorial? Do they take direction really well? Meaning you only got to tell them once how to do things. However, we know from The Simpsons, you got to do it at least 3 times. And when it comes to kinesthetics, which means that these are the hands-on people, they need to be taught hands-on. And sometimes the beautiful thing about communication styles is that they're going to need the ability to actually do it twice. So you can do a visual learner and a kinesthetics learner. Me personally, I am an audio and kinesthetics, but depending on what I'm learning, I'm more of a visual and kinesthetics, which means that you can show it to me. I need to do it at the same time. And then, yes, I might mess up. However, because I usually try to do it without letting you finish. It's just like one of those things that I know of myself, but these are the great things about your communication style. Go ahead on and talk to your team to let them know these are the things that you need to be a great communicator. And plus, for you as a leader, you have to let your team know how you learn. So say if they are coming to you with issues and stuff like that, be like, hold on. I need to see this. Show it to me and show me how you did it, so that we can work the issues out. Or sometimes like, hey, they just did something really cool. You can actually do the same thing. Be like, hey, show this to me in a different way. Let me see what's going on so that you can help your colleague out or your teammate how to be successful. Now, also, when it comes to understanding your team, you need to understand the shared goals and values. And what I mean by the shared goals and values is like, where are you trying to go as a visionary, as a leader of your pack, as a leader of your team, of your muster, of whatever you want to call your staff? You really need to hone in on where your vision is. Create the values. You guys can come up together, sit down, and really figure out the values of the team. This helps out with the dynamics. So team dynamics, which is moving on to the next bullet, which is the team dynamics and potential challenges. So when it comes to knowing these dynamics of your team and the challenges that they come across, the only way you can really find that out is by sitting down with your team and really getting to know them. So this is very important for all of you. So say we got a comment here and say, would you rather... Oh my gosh. Okay, you gotta love people. Okay. Are you good at math? I'm not playing with these. If you got great questions, if you guys want to participate in the giveaway, just type in #wallet. Greatly appreciate you all if y'all want to be part of this drawing for later on. Okay, so let's see. I don't see anything on Instagram, no comments yet. So let's go on and move over to the next big thing when it comes to being a great communicator with your team. Now, this one is called choosing the right communication channels. So we go on and add that to the banner. Say communication channels. All right. So you need to know about your communication channels. The reason why the communication channels are very important is because you need to figure out there's so many different ways. You can either communicate via email, you can do phone, you can do video chat, or what have you, smoke signals. Whatever your team is doing, if they like to do a couple taps, like, hey, I'm done. Like, do like a little rim shot thing. Like, if that's the thing that they do, then you need to know what it is that can be very helpful for your team to let you know like where you are and stuff like that. Now, the things that you want to keep in touch with your team when it comes to right communication, you need to set up regular meetings. Are they weekly, bi-weekly, quarterly, monthly? These are the meetings that need to be had to continue on with the motion or the forward motion of the product and the mission. Then you have one-on-one meetings. These meetings are very important. They can be very short as like 2 minutes, or they can be as long as about 15 minutes or so, or however long it takes for these meetings. The one-on-one meetings are just for you to get to know your staff a little bit better. One of the things that I did with my staff is that when it comes to one-on-one meetings, I usually say, let's go for a walk. Let's go head on and have a talk. We call it like a walking meeting because I was running up and down the building. I had multiple teams on multiple floors, but if somebody had an issue, or I would just say like, hey, come walk with me for a little bit, just so I can get to know them, get to know what they like, how they like to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that I did to kind of have that open conversation and let them know that I'm here for them. And these are the things that I think will be beneficial to you to actually tell your team. Now, the next thing is that you want to look into is actually have instant messaging. Instant messaging is good, but also you want to be quick with it. Like, hey, I saw that this was coming down the pipes, go ahead on and do that. You can actually have group messaging, which is important, or you can do one-on-one just to kind of check in sometimes. If you don't see that person, you can send them something. Email etiquette is a thing. You can schedule emails. I'm not sure if you all know, but in Outlook, you can actually schedule out an email. Even in Gmail, you can schedule out an email to go out to your team. So if you're drafting up something really cool, this is where you want to provide more guidance. You want to provide a little bit more detail of the direction that you just said verbally. So even though you might have your meetings and stuff like that, email is a great way to capture all of that because it's documented. Depending on your job and depending on where you work at, email is considered documentations that is part of your job, so that in case anything happens, you be like, hey, you had this in writing, this is what you said. So you want to look into that. And then also video conferencing. Like, when it comes to video conferencing, as far as communications, it's always good if you're calling off starting a meeting, you want to show your face if you're presenting, and make sure that your team knows that when they're presenting something, they have to show their face. It's very important to do that. It's very key. Hey, what's going on, Carla? Thank you for stopping by. What's going on, Floyd? So Floyd, you say how long is too long for emails? Now, when it comes to emails being too long, it really depends on your team, what's considered too long. Because for me, if you guys sign up for my newsletter, I have a lot of information in my newsletter, but again, I send those out monthly. Now, for your team, if you only send out emails monthly, or it really depends on what type of email you're sending. Because if it's something like, hey, I'm just following up on this, or I need this done tomorrow, you can actually explain and stuff like that. So one of my pet peeves is an email. When somebody actually send out something and they do not put the source so that you can go out and do your own research. That is one of my pet peeves when it comes to emails. I highly recommend that everybody do that. It just not only show that you know what you're talking about, but also you care about the person's time. So before we move on to uh, the next, I think I got like 3 more segments to this part. Is that I want to take a break here and talk about a little bit about the commercials, what's going on for me. So just want to say, if you haven't already, go to aboutthatwallet.com/shop, where you can actually get some of the merch that I have on my website. So I'm not even sure if it will show out here, but this is what commercials do. They not as long as I'm about to make it, because I didn't pre-record this. So I'm gonna pre-record it next time though. So let you know for next time. All right, so I know this looks super tiny. Um, However, on my website, if you go to aboutthatwallet.com/store or /shop, you can check out all the cool merch. So some of you saw that I had the merch for my hoodie. If you guys want the hoodie that I wear at all the conferences that I go to, I wonder if this works. There we go. It's not better. So if you ever want to come to any of the conferences, you always see me in this hoodie. By all means, just go to the website, go to and get your own, and we all good to go. And it also has like payments, so you can drop it down to like multiple payments of $11.25 for interest-free payments. So if you guys want to do that, that's fine. So again, for those of you who are joining, type in #wallet so that you can be put into the drawing for later on today. All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand. So we already talked about the top 3 things, well, top 2 things, which is understanding your team, and number 2, which is choosing the right communication channels. So now we want to move on to number 3, which is effective communication strategies. Okay, so now this is where we start getting into how to how can I say this? This is where the nuts and bolts come together, and the oil, like, this is where you need to be. All right. So when it comes to effective communication, you want to make sure that you actually do active listening. This is with speech bubble representing both parties. So think about it like, I don't know how to put it. Active listening. So like, not sure if some of you all have significant others and they just have something they don't want to get off their chest. And you be like, hey, I was actually thinking about going to do this thing. I don't have time to listen to you. Or they'll say something like, oh yeah, I had this cool thing happen at work and blah, blah. And you was like, what'd you say? Like, that person then shuts down because they feel as though you're not going to take them seriously. You're not going to listen to their problems as if it actually really mattered to you. So what I mean by active listening, when somebody, especially your team member, is saying like, hey, I'm having a bad day. This person isn't listening to me. I just feel really frustrated. I'm really not in the good mood today. This is where you as a leader come in and say, you know what, hey, I understand what's going on. Can you just explain a little bit more? What are you working on today? What are the things that needs to be done today that you're working on, so that we can kind of reassign or readjust some of your activities so that we can make sure everybody's good to go while you're out. And then actually ask them like, hey, is this something that I can share with the team? And what that means is to go back to that open communication, that trust that you have with one another. Because when it comes to active listening, you want to make sure that, hey, this is a firewall. This is a safe space for me to share my concerns, my work issues, so that you can continue on and be successful. Now, how many of you all had those managements where they just did not listen to you? you know and it's very frustrating that they don't listen, and it's crazy. So then let's start thinking about some clear and concise communication. So there's a book called The 2 Minute Leader. I think it's called The 2 Minute Manager, something like that. And I actually read that book. I actually enjoyed it. Um, because what it oh, it's called the 1 minute manager. That's what it is. The 1 minute manager, when it came to clear and concise things, is that you already have a lot of things already in place, which means that you need to focus on life. And you need to, if it's something that you want to constantly keep asking these people, just make it a template. Let's say, like, hey, the email template, hey, you already know, I want to know what's going on in your life. Hey, I already know that you're going to be talking about how can I help you as a leader for your position. And then you also want to look into what can we do together going forward? What are the things that are actually impacting the work at hand, and how can solve this together? So if that's the case, you can go down and send out that template to your team to make sure that this is something key. If this is something that you guys want me to give you all, because I can give you a copy of the template that I've used, just let me know, and then I can create like a quick giveaway. Just let me know in the comments. If you're watching this as a replay, just type replay in your comment, and I'll just go ahead on and send it off to you. So just replay, and then, hey, I want to have a copy of this. But again, if you guys are new to this, go ahead on and type in #wallet so that you can get into this book drawing. I'm gonna keep saying it until I start seeing some #wallets, because I can't start the drawing unless you don't put in some hashtags in here. What's going on, Charlene? How you been? How you been? It's been a while. It's been a while. You know, everybody gets some air horns today. All right, all right. So we got our first #wallet. Sweet. I actually want to see what this looks like. Because since I'm doing a StreamYard as a giveaway, will it match up in this stream? So #wallet. Like I said, I'm trying everything out a little live. That's the only thing about live shows. You always gotta test out everything. So share this tab instead. Let's see if we can go ahead on. There we go. Okay, so it shrinks it. I want to see if I can be all up in there. Oh, it doesn't work out the way I would like it to be. Yeah, it's all right. So, so again, we're gonna be talking about the effective way of communication. Get back to my stuff. All right, so you want to make sure that you provide feedback. When it comes to feedback, remember, write down this formula. I want to make sure y'all get it. Feedback. Feedback equals data. Data equals knowledge. Action plus knowledge equals power. Okay? I'm going to say this one more time. This is something that you all need to know as a manager and as a leader. Feedback equals data. Data equals knowledge, because you can only know something if you have your data points, right? This is trying to say, like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is why you need data equals knowledge. Now, action plus knowledge equals power. When I say action, you want to throw in that action, because this is where the person's actually taking action on the knowledge that they just gained, so that they can go ahead on and pursue new things. This is the power of getting great feedback. You need to make sure you have great feedback so that you can follow everything that you need. Okay. Now, when it comes to encourage open communication, this is one of the things that I highly recommend. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I didn't even see you guys come in. Hey, what's going on, Nia? What's going on, Lisa? So one of the things, remember, make sure y'all put in #wallet so y'all can get into the drawing. For, like I said, I'm giving away 2 books. So, and I'm using the same hashtag for both books because you only can win one. So, giving away this book today, which is Crush Your Money Goals by Bernadette Joy. She's been a guest on the show, so I highly recommend check out that episode. It's very impactful, so that you can actually learn about Bernadette Joy before you get the book. All right. So remember, we talked about providing feedback. Now we want to encourage open communication. Open communication is very important. This is where you want to create a psychological safe space for your team. And what I mean by that is that when they come to you for a problem, which they will because you are a leader, they are going to pour out everything to you. Meaning, hey, if they are happy and excited about your leadership, they will tell you how you're doing. If you suck at your leadership, they should be okay to come to you without you turning your lip and feeling all, weird out about it, you know? So these are the things that you need to start thinking about. How are you creating a psychological safe space? Now, one of the things that I did to create a psychological safe space for my team is provide constant communication. I always talk to them one on one. Be like, hey, how can I help you today? Hey, what's going on in your life? Hey, you know, how can we build a team? Make sure we doing that 1% better than what we were yesterday. How are we growing? And I'm constantly challenging the team to think of different ways that we can actually improve the environment, improve the team. And because of that, they've been so grateful in providing direct feedback, saying like, "Hey, Anthony, I noticed that you don't send out that many emails, or I noticed that you're not um, giving us more guidance than like how you used to. What's going on? How can we do work this out?" And I was like, all right, cool. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that feedback. And I appreciate you coming over to me to share your what's going on, because then that allows me to know where my gaps are. And also do the same with them. Like, hey, I noticed that you're not as attentive as you used to be, or I noticed that your workload has increased. Is there anything that you need help to kind of off track some of that? And this is where it comes into being a great leader, is that you actually recognize what's going on with your team when they're not acting the same. And then also you got to be accessible. So being accessible is very important when it comes to creating effective communication strategies. Now, having that being available, because how many of you have ever had like a leader or a manager that's not available when you need them? It's like so frustrating. I can't believe like they not here when you need them to be successful, because it's crazy that they not there. Let's check out on Instagram, see if there's any comments on Instagram. Okay, nothing's showing up on Instagram. We're good. All right, cool. So when it comes to availability, just make sure you set your boundaries when it comes to availability, because they will come to you at all hours of the day. Now, if that's your style, your leadership style, that's fine. However, it's not mine. I actually say like, hey, I'm available between these hours. My lunch hour is around like 11 o'clock, because I got to get there before everybody else get to lunch, because I got to get in and get out to get ready for that next meeting that I usually have around 12 o'clock, 12:30. I don't set up these 11, 12 o'clock meetings, but this is what happens. And for those of you who are joining on Instagram, I just want to say you can come on over to YouTube, type in #wallet so you can get part of this drawing. All right. Let's see. So we're gonna move on to, I think I got like two more things to wrap up. So I got one more big one, which is addressing communication challenges, and then the last one is conclusion. Okay. So what we're gonna be talking about here is addressing communication challenges. So we kind of talked about like how to create effective communication, but now we're going to talk about how to address these challenges that are going on, which is first we got to identify the communication barriers. That's the main thing. So if you got a big team, um, I had a big team of like 70 to 80 people. So the communication barriers were time, availability, also when people are going on vacation. And as we talked about our communication styles, do you like email? Do you want it verbal? Do you like face to face? So you need to figure out what those are. What are those barriers in your team to do? Now, below that, this is again seeking that feedback, because what feedback provides, if somebody can type this out in the chat, feedback equals data, data equals knowledge. Action plus knowledge equals power. Okay. So this is what you want to seek all the time when it comes to providing great guidance for your, I guess you could say your team. Yes, for your team. And then also, providing training. This is one of the things I've been in so many different jobs. And when it comes to employee feedback, they keep saying, like, oh man, I kind of wish we had trained employees. I kind of wish that we had the ability to learn more things and growth. Like, there is no pathway to become a better employee or move on to that next level. Now, in order for you to do that, you got to provide training, provide guidance. You need to be able to be available to your team and make sure that they have what they need. All right. So, in conclusion, guys, I mean, this is a very dear topic to me when it comes to leadership. So, I can talk about this stuff all day. However, I just wanted to talk about communication styles as a leader. So, in conclusion, you got to understand your team, which is crucial to effective communication. You got to choose the right channels for different situations. What I mean by that, hey, when you giving direct feedback to somebody, you don't just send them email like, hey, you sucked at this and this was horrible. This should not be a first heard for them when you're giving them feedback. They shouldn't hear at the end of the year like, oh, they were a terrible employee. You're not giving them the chance to actually correct themselves. So when it comes to choosing the right channels, you just need to figure that out. Which best for your team. And the way how you do that is by communicating with your team. Remember to practice active listening and provide feedback, because this is a very important thing that you need to do. And you need to create a supportive environment for open communication. This is where you create a psychological safe space so that people are comfortable coming to you. They're providing that value at all hours of the day, no matter when they need it. And then lastly, you need to address challenges proactively. Okay. Which means, like, hey, if something comes up, you got to address it immediately. I'm not sure if you guys had this, but I had this at my job when I was like, hey, um, so and so is over here like yelling at other people. How you gonna fix it? I need to know. And they weren't providing that information. So I was like, you guys gotta give me something. All right. So I just want to do that in conclusion. We are beyond the 8:30 mark. It's just that because I wanted to make sure we insert everything. I wanted to make sure that we get all the fun stuff taken care of. So now we're gonna do our drinks. I'm not sure if you guys got y'all drinks because it's been a while. Somebody did message me like, "Hey, can you bring back the drink sessions again?" Sure, I'll bring you back the drink sessions. And here goes the drink sessions. So, how many of you guys are ready to drink? And make sure you'll do hashtag wallet because that is very important. Because I only got 2 people. If y'all, I need some more hashtag wallets up in there so that we can do multiple giveaways. Because I can't just say like, "Hey, one person get it." No, gotta give me some more hashtag wallets. Throw that up in the chat, and stuff like that. If you don't want to, it's fine. But for those of you who do want this, I got 2 book giveaways. Make sure you do that. Okay, all right. Drink time. So what I'm making fake. I don't say fake, but it's my ties. These are gonna be, was that a mai tai? I want a mai tai. That's what it is. These are mimosas. So if you guys are not familiar with a mimosa is, a mimosa is usually like champagne with some type of juice. So that's what we having right now. And I don't have nails. That's the only thing about doing these. is that you happen. This is what happens when you bite your nails. Can't open up stuff properly, so you gotta get like special tools just to open up stuff. All right. So anyway, what are you guys drinking out there? What do you got? Like water? I know some of y'all drink only water. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off. Oh man, I should have shook this up. So this is pineapple juice. There we go. So start off with some pineapple juice, and it's making a mess. And then we're gonna use some ginger beer to make as your champagne for the non-alcoholic part. So we can get some of this ASMR. Oh yeah, that's what it said. It said, "Oh yeah." All right. So let me know what you guys drinking, because I am curious as we're about to give away these giveaways. Go down and type in #wallet if you're just joining, so that we can go down and get these drawings while we have our drink for the first book. Let's see. We got Dr. Pepper out there. All right. We got Celsius. That's a good drink. Sugar-free. Oh, Zero Sugar Starry. Never heard of a sugar-free Starry. All right. We got another entry. All right. So let's go for this entry. All right. Here we go. See if I can zoom in since. All right, we got 3 entries. Cheers to you guys. All right, let's see if we can get some drawing music. All right. Yeah, this sounds like a little drum roll. Y'all ready? If you do #wallet so you can go down and get in this drawing. Hey, we got a winner. What's going on, Charlene? Charlene, congrats. Woo. Yes, Charlene. So, Charlene has won Crush Your Money Goals by Bernadette Joy that I'll be giving away. So, Charlene, I think you already have my email. So shoot me an email on where you want me to shoot the book. If you do on Amazon, I'm sending it through your Amazon. So Amazon, I'm going to mail it out to you wherever. So if you want it to your home, you can, or you can have it sent to one of those Amazon lockers. That's fine. All right. So that was fun. All right. So congrats to Charlene. Now, one of the things that I do want to talk about is, let's see, the next book that I'll be giving away. I actually do want to show this tab instead and share it with you all. So this is Brandon's book. I met Brandon at Podcast Movement 2024 in DC. And I can see if I can find him on my Instagram, since ain't nobody on my Instagram. Let's see. Let me wonder if I can open up another tab. Let's see. Because I'm also streaming on Instagram right now, so it's going to be pretty interesting on how I can do this. Let's see, share this tab instead. Huh, it works. All right, I did not do it still. My bad. I thought I did a still. Brandon. All right, so I know I normally don't do this, but I actually took these photos of Brandon when he did. There we go. So this is the book that I'll be giving away. So I met Brandon uh Berkmeyer. He'll be actually on the show. I'll be doing a recording with him a little later, doing a pre-recording. And his book is called Front and Center Leadership. Like I said, it kind of helped inspire the whole leadership series that I'm actually putting together. And again, if you guys haven't already, go ahead on and go to aboutthatwallet.com/newsletter to sign up for my newsletter. They come out monthly, and we do quite a bit of cool things on there. So that I just want to share that all with you. And if you actually want to get the book yourself, you can actually go to his website, brandonberkmeyer.com/books, if you want to be part of that process as well. Okay. And so this is the book that I'll be giving away. If you guys want to be part of that and haven't participated in the first time, go ahead on and type in #wallet as I refill my drink because we gotta do another giveaway. Another giveaway. Oh man. So what's going on with y'all today? I'm just curious. What's going on with y'all today? I'm gonna do another drawing, so I'm just waiting for the new entries for #wallet. So far there's 3 entries left because when I do a draw again, it will eliminate Charlene for being in this one, so you can be in the next one. Oh my bad. I was supposed to be putting this in the drink here. So if you ever want to make a mocktail, it's fine. Oh, you guys, if you only did #wallet already, it still have you counted. It got you here number 3. I got you. I just gotta hit draw again and it'll just eliminate her. So I got 3 entries. All right, last call. All right. So y'all the only 3. Last call for the giveaway. All righty. Let's play some good music here for the next drawing. I do like this one. Hey, we got a winner. What's going on, Carla? Yay, Carla got it. So, Carla, you have my email too. So just let me know if you want me to just send it. Just shoot me an email where you want me to send it. Or you got my number. Just text me. If you want me to send it. So we can go ahead on and get that out the way. All right. So now we're done with all the giveaways, the book giveaways, stuff like that. Say congrats to Carla and congrats to Charlene for winning all of the fun stuff. Did my stream stop? Oh no, it's still going. It's just some catch up. All right. So for those of you, I just want to say thank you again for supporting the show. New events coming up that I want to let you guys know. I will be speaking at the Afros and Audio conference coming up in October 18th through the 20th. So I'll be speaking in Baltimore, which is very exciting because I haven't been in Baltimore in so many, I'll say several years now. Like I've drove past, but I never drove in Baltimore to stay. So I'll be speaking there. And one of the things I met so many people at the podcast conference, podcast movement conference. So I will be having some of those interviews coming through. And also to let you guys know, I am clearing, like my backlog is clear, so that I do want to say that I'm open for anybody who wants to share their money story and actually, have a moment to kind of be on the podcast. It's cool to be on the show. If you have a business and you just kind of like not sure if you should come on the podcast, the beauty of being on a podcast is that you have the ability to use that as a reference point for when you coming out to potential clients or even getting, I guess you could say, new business. And what I mean by that is that you can take the interview and use that interview as a stepping stone to kind of showcase, like, hey, this is what my business is about. This is who I am. And these are different things I've been marketed in and around the industry. So you can actually have that option as well. Now, what I want to do, I just want to say thank you all. It's been a pleasure. Stay tuned for next week. Still putting things together as far as like what I'll be talking about um, when it comes to leadership, because there's so many different avenues when it comes to leadership. I think I might do conflict resolution or dealing with age discrimination, or not age discrimination, but how to deal with, um, as you could say, different generational leaderships, because sometimes there's some of the people that were there longer than I have, or they've been older and stuff like that, and trying to gain their knowledge and actually put it forward so that can be helpful to the team, not a detriment to the team, especially as a new leader. I would say how to become a great leader as a new leader. I'm not sure yet, but either way, by all means, check out this show. Continue on. Let me know if there's anything exciting that you ever want to know, or if there's anything that is interests you. You can shoot me an email at anthony@aboutthatwallet.com so that I can just say in the subject line feedback, so that I will at least know that this is something that you guys are looking forward to. And I will more than likely be doing what they call it, like a survey, just to kind of get a understanding of where everybody's at. So thank you, everybody. Y'all be safe out there. And it's a pleasure, as always, to have you guys here and be a part of this mission to help people be strong with their financial habits and their finances. So, with all that, not further ado, y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.